Good evening to you, sir. Now, could you help us better understand where this protest is coming barely 3 weeks after the governor handed over to his successor, and why communities kept quiet all these years when he was in office?
Well, first and foremost, let me say that it seems to be that the people of Delta or the host communities in Delta State have kept mute over this period. It is deliberate to some extent because we need some evidence and facts before we can come out publicly to demand for our right. Yes, before now we have been demanding to know the 50% of the 13% that is accrued to the host communities. And all prove abortive, all efforts by leaders and people of the host communities to know the actual figure being allocated to the Delta State government for the 13%, so that through the DESOPADEC, the state government created commission to administer the 50% for the host communities, approve abortive. And we have done several engagements. We have met at several points, but approve abortive. Now, as a city governor, they have all the apparatus around them. They also have immunity. So sometimes when you try to request or demand for your right, you have been tagged as anti-government or have been seen to be an opposition to government. We are community people. We have nothing to do with political parties. We have nothing to do with the political interest. We are simply demanding for the 50% of the 13%. Now, the Delta State Oil Area Development Commission, known as the SUPADEC, has in its law that the commission will receive 50%. Will receive and administer 50% exclusively for the development of the host communities.
And have you been, as your community, been able to receive this 50%?
We have not. We have not. So we felt that the SUPADEC has been shortchanged for this while, and we continue to ask why. Because since Okowa came on board, he has amended the DESOPADEC law twice. He has amended the DESOPADEC law in 2015. Immediately he came in, he amended the DESOPADEC law. In 2018, he amended it again to include his local government, to be part of the oil producing local government, and to be part of the oil producing communities, and which we vehemently oppose. But he uses executive power to impose his local government on the people. Now, based on our findings, we discovered that the SUPADEC have received, the Delta State government have received a lot of resources or the funding from the federal government. But as all proof abortive, we decided to approach the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation to apply for the CTC, the certified true copy, and the Accountant General Office graciously made it available to us. And from records available shows that the Delta State government from 2007, under the former governor Emmanuel Eweta Oduan, from 2007 to December 31st, 2022, Delta State have received a total sum of 1 trillion 800 and some.
Now, Mr. Sheriff, sorry to interrupt you. I do know that your group presented a petition to the EFCC today.
Yes.
What's the next course of action for your group, and are you an advocate of more resource control?
Well, for now, our petition to EFCC is to help us probe into these missing funds of 1,777,440,553,017 kobo. Now, out of these amounts, the host communities were entitled to 538 billion and some fraction, and which the government have came up to say that they have remitted only 208 billion by his former past commissioner, one Mr. Charles Aniagu, that this is the amount given. So we have petitioned EFCC to help us properly investigate and recover our money for us. We have no issue with Okowa, but the issue we have is just the 15% of the 13%.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mulade Sheriff. It was a pleasure talking to you. There's quite a lot to unwrap there, to unpack rather. So thank you very much for your insights. We will be following this development closely. Thank you.